Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we are going to talk about how to divide decimals by decimals. We are in Chapter 3, Lesson 8, on page 239. All right, so today in the real world link, we have an art problem. An art studio has 36 gallons of acrylic paint. They separate it into 9 containers. How many gallons are in each container? This is a division problem. 36 divided by 9 is 4. The answer to a division problem is a quotient. The quotient is 4. Use the division problem to find patterns and complete the tables below. Then use these patterns to describe the dividends, divisors, and quotients in each set. Well, 36 divided by 9/10 is 40. 36 divided by 9/100 is 400. 36 divided by 9/1000 is 4,000. And if the pattern continues, 36 divided by 9/10,000 will give us the answer of, yes, 40,000. All right, so after we get the pattern, we're to write about the pattern that we see here. So the pattern that we are seeing in example 1 or problem 1 is the dividends are the same. Please write this down. Now some of you are thinking, what is the dividend? This is in the division problem, 36 is your dividend. This is your divisor. And then the answer is the quotient. So the dividends are the same. It's always 36. Each time the decimal point of the divisor moves one place to the left, and the decimal point of the quotient moves one place to the right. It's a lot to write here, but let's get this written down. Each time the decimal point of the divisor, I'm just going to use div for the word divisor, moves one place to the left, moves one place left, the decimal point of the quotient moves one place right. The decimal point, DEC for decimal point, of the quotient that's the answer, moves one place right. Okay, so the divisor, it moves one place to the left. The quotient moves one place to the right. That is what it's referring to. So let's look at the next problem. Our division problem, 3 6/10 divided by 9 is 4/10. 36 hundredths divided by 9 is 4 hundredths. 36 thousandths divided by 9 is 4 thousandths. And 36 10,000ths divided by 9 is 4 10,000ths. What do we see here? What are the patterns? The decimal point of the dividend and the quotient move one place to the left each time. The divisors are the same. So this time we do know that our divisors are the same. Let's start by saying the divisors are the same. So that's one statement. And the decimal point, make sure you are writing this down, of the dividend and the quotient move one place to the left each time. All right, now we're going to look at the last group here. 3 6/10 divided by 9/10 is 4. 36 divided by 9 is 4. 36 thousandths divided by 9 thousandths is 4. And 36 10,000ths divided by 9 10,000ths is 4. Well, in this one, the quotients are the same. And what are the patterns that we see with the dividend and the divisor? The decimal point of the dividend and the divisor move one place to the left each time. Decimal point in the dividend and divisor move one place to the left each time. All right, a lot of writing on this page today. Let's now go on to page 240. Let's turn the page. Divide by decimals. How do we divide by decimals? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, and we're going to go into more detail again today. 1 71/100 divided by 9/10. I'm just going to have you all, yes, and everyone rewrite the problem. 1 71/100 divided by 9/10. There is a decimal in the divisor. You have to move it out one place. You move this one place. Put it right there before you do any dividing. Now you say, how many 9s are in a 1 none? How many 9s are in a 17 1? Subtract. Bring down. How many 9s are in an 81? 9. You put it above where the 1 is, and the answer is 1 9/10. And that is what you get for the answer. Let's go on to example 2. If we were going to estimate this problem, you would estimate it as 2 64/100 is close to 3, and 6/10 is close to 1, so the answer is going to be close to a 3. All right, let's fill in this box. You multiply 6/10 by 10 to make it a whole number. You have to multiply by the dividend 2 64/100 by the same power of 10. All right, that's what happens When you move it one place and you move this one place, it's multiplying each number by 10. Okay, so let's fill in these boxes. In this problem, put the decimal point straight up after you move it. It'll go into that 4 times 24, subtract, bring down the 4, 6 goes into that 4 times, and the answer is 4 4/10. They really should have had their box extended a little further than what it did. It's not in the exact spot. So 2 6400 divided by 6/10 is 4 4/10. Is it reasonable? Yes, it is. Now let's do the problems down below. I'm going to show my work up on the top left for the A, B, and C. All right, so letter A. I'm going to do letter A up here, and it is 54 4/10. Let's put that 54 4/10 in the division box. 1 7/10 is the divisor. It goes outside. Well, we have one decimal point. We have to move it one place, the decimal point. So you move this one place. Remember, this is the one that determines how many places you move it here. How many 17s are in a 54? 3. That'll give you a 51. Subtract. Bring down. How many 17s are in a 34? 2. So the answer to letter A is 32. Now let's do letter B. Problem B is 8 424 thousandths. That is your dividend. 8 424. Okay. Divided by 36 hundredths. Before I can go on, I have to move my decimal point. In this problem, I move it 2 places, so I only move it 2 places. Notice how it is in between the 2 and the 4. You have to be very neat when you do these so you don't make a careless mistake. All right, 36 will not go into 8, but it goes into 84 2 times. Neatly put your 2 above the 4. 2 times 36 is 72. Subtract. You have a 12. Bring down the 2. It will go into that 3 times. Put your 3 above the 2, which is in front of the decimal point there. 3 times 6 is 18. Put down an 8, carry a 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Now I have to borrow. 12 minus 8 is 4. And bring down the 1 and the next number, which is a 4. That will go into it 4 times, and we have 144. The answer with 0 as a remainder. So the answer to B is 23 4/10. Now I'm going to slide the paper up, and we're going to do letter C. In letter C, we have 63 tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. .0063 divided by 7 thousandths. All right, let's move the decimal point so we can start dividing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's put it up here in the answer so we don't forget. Now, how many 7s are in a, there are no 7s there. How many 7s are in a 63? 9. And that was a pretty friendly problem. 9 tenths. So the answer for letter A, we have 32. For letter B, we have 23 4/10. And for letter C, 9 tenths. Let's go on now to page 241. Example 3. Zeros in the quotient and dividend. It says line up the numbers by place value as you divide. Annex, which means add or put zeros in the quotient in order to keep digits with the correct place value. Annex or place zeros in the dividend to continue dividing after the decimal point. All right, let's just do this problem together. We're going to do the example over here. 52 goes in the box, 4/10 goes outside the box. Now, we have to move the decimal point one place. There is no decimal here. It's hiding. It's behind the number. Now we move it one place. Now in the empty loop, you put a 0. So we have 520 divided by 4. What we did here, when you move it one place, you multiply by 10. 4/10 times 10 is 4. 52 times 10 is 520. That is what we did. Now, let's continue dividing. 4 goes into 5 once, subtract, bring down. It'll go into that 3 times, subtract, bring down. How many 4s are in a 0, 0, 0? And the answer, 130. Yep, that's what they have, 130. Let's practice on example 4. Let's do, I think we can fit this one in here. The 9,000ths goes inside the box. 1800ths is our divisor. Now we have 2 places. That means we are multiplying it by 100 to move it out. So we are multiplying this by 100 when you move it 2 places. So 0.9. Now, how many 18s are in 0, 0, 0? How many 18s are in a 9? 0. Now we're going to add another number behind that. How many 18s are in a 90? 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry a 4 and we get an exact 90. Now, over here they showed it where they, how many 18s are in a 0? 0. How many 18s are in a 9? They brought the 9 down. There were 0. Subtract. Bring down another number. How many 18s are in a 90? They showed each step that they made on that problem. Now let's look at number 5. Example 5. 11 2/10 divided by 700. We have to move it 2 places, which is multiplying it by 100 to remove the decimal point. So we're going to move this one 2 places, multiplying it by 100. You have an empty loopy. Put a 0 right up there. Now let's divide. How many 7s are in an 11? 1. Subtract. Bring down. How many 7s are in a 42? 6. Oh, we still have that 0. How many 7s are in a 0, 0, 0? And the answer is 160. Any questions? All right, let's do D, E, and F together. Here we go. In letter D, let's put this one up here. Letter D, put it up at the top right-hand side. 5 6/10 will go in the box. 14,000ths is your divisor. 5 6/10 is your dividend. We have to move it 1, 2, 3 places. That's multiplying it by 1,000. 1, 2, 3 places. We put zeros in the empty loopies, and I'm going to extend my box. Now, how many 14s are in a 5? None. How many 14s are in a 56? 4. And when you take 4 times 14, that gives you 56. Subtract, but the answer is not just 4. Bring down the next 0. How many 14s are in a 0, 0? 0. subtract, and the last number I have to bring down, the answer is 400. Now let's do letter E. In this problem, letter E, you have 6 24/100 is your dividend, and the divisor is 200. Well, we don't move the decimal point here. We don't have one in our divisor, so we're going to put that one straight up. Now, how many 200s are in a 6? None. In a 62? None. In a 624? 3. That'll give us 600, and I am going to be short on space for this one. Subtract. Now I'm going to add another 0, bring it down. How many 200s are in a 240? 1. Subtract. Squeeze in another 0 there. Bring it down. How many 200s are in a 400? 4. And we were able to get the number in there, and our answer is 314 thousandths. Or 10 thousandths, excuse me on that. Now, the next problem we're going to do is letter F. I have a little light here, and I'm not able to get the reflection there. I apologize. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit more like that. There we go. Get it out of the way of the light. Letter F is 4/10 divided by 25. In the box, 0 and 4/10. 25 is the divisor. Now, I don't move it here. I will put it straight up there. How many 25s in a 0? 0. How many 25s in a 4? 0. Added, I call them dotty dots. How many 25s are in a 40? 1. Subtract. Add another 0. Bring it down. How many 25s are in 150? 6 of them. And the answer is 16 thousandths. So when we write our answers on the blank down here, and yes, you do need to show all of your division work. The answer to D, we had 400. E, 314 10 thousandths, and F, 16 thousandths. Now let's go to page 242. In example 6, it says, how many times as many internet users are there in Japan than in Spain? Round to the nearest tenth. Here you have 127 and 4/10 divided by 40 and 4/10. Okay, where do we get the 127? That's Japan's number. 40 and 4/10 is Spain's. And when you divide, you get 3 and 15/100. But in the problem, it wants you to round to the nearest tenth. So what you do is you divide to the hundredths place, stop, and then round it to the tenths. 3 and 15/100. The 5 will turn the 1 into a 2/10. Remember, if the number is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it will round up. If the number behind the desired place is one of these, you round it up 1. The number in front of it will go up 1. All right? Okay, let's do the guided practice, and then I will talk to you about what your homework assignment is going to be. Let me move this out of the way of the light, if possible. All right. In the first problem here, we have 3 and 69/100 is our dividend divided by 3/10. Move it 1. You move this one 1. Put it straight up. 3 goes into 3 once. Subtract. Bring down the 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Subtract. Bring down the 9. Now, I should have put the 2 a little better above the 6, a little, I guess, closer to the decimal point. So here, 3 goes into 9 3 times. It will go behind the decimal point, and our answer for this is 12 3/10. All right, let's do the next problem. 0.0338 divided by 1 3/10. Move the decimal 1 place, move the decimal 1 place, and put it straight up. How many 13s are in a 0? 0. How many 13s are in a 3? 0. How many 13s are in a 33? It will go into that 2 times. 2 times 13 is 26. Subtract. Bring down the 8. 13 will go into 78 6 times. And the answer, 0 and 26 thousandths. Now let's do number 3. And I apologize if I'm going too fast here. In problem number 3, 2 and 943 thousandths divided by 2 and 7/10. Move the decimal point 1 place. Move the decimal point 1 place. Now let's divide. 27 will go into 29 1 time. Subtract. Bring down the next number. How many 27s will go into a 24? None of them. Now the 0 goes behind the decimal point because the 4 is behind the decimal point after we moved it. Subtract. Bring down the 3. 27 will go into 243 9 times. 9 times 27 gives you exactly 243. And that is your answer for that problem, 1 9/900. Okay, let's do problem number 4. It's a word problem. It says, Alicia bought 5 7/75 yards of fleece fabric to make blankets for a charity. She needs 1 8/85 yards of fabric for each blanket. How many blankets can Alicia make with the fabric she bought? In this problem, we are going to divide 5 7/75 by 1 8/85. So how many blankets can she make? Move the decimal point 2 places, put it straight up. Now, 1 8/85 will go into that, I think, 3 times. Let's see. 15, carry a 1, 24 plus 1 is 25, carry a 2. I have 555. So it is 3 blankets, and we're going to stop because we don't want to know how many parts. You don't have to continue, boys and girls. You can just stop. So how many blankets? 3 blankets. Now our essential question says, when is it helpful to round the quotient to the nearest hundredth? Well, when it represents money. That would be one of the best times. When it represents money. Okay. Now, what are we going to do for homework? Your homework assignment is going to be to do the problems on page 243. Let me just find that page. Here it is. On page 243, I would like for you to do 1 to 9. Do all problems. Page 243, all 1 to 9. Let's see. On page 244, there is a house problem and you need to do problem number 11. That'll be all. So your homework assignment, 243, 1 to 9, and then I would like for you to do page 244, number 11. And that will be your assignment. If you have any problems with behavior or being disrespectful to whoever the substitute is, you can do extra problems on page 245 or the word problems on page 244. I'm sure you will all make very good choices. Have a good day.